Hi guys, welcome to the 1 in 20 show. I'm your host Evan Rogers, and today I am joined by Steven Ziegler. Steven is a 19-year-old Starbucks barista who has an old soul. He's an animation major with a screenwriting minor and is a Disney film fanatic. Steven, welcome to the show.
Hello. Well, hello.
Well, Steven, you and I hit it off back when we were doing Escape Theater together.
Yes, sir.
And we had such a cool experience together with that program. Mm-hmm. Just that how cool and intricate that program is to each and every person's life, and the friends that you're surrounded with, and just how you and I met and all that stuff, and all of our friends, and our friend groups and all the hangouts and like all the stuff that we did together and performing on stage. And like, what was that like for you?
So the first time I actually heard about Escape was through Elizabeth. I was dropping my sister off at they were driving to church camp, and we were dropping my sister off there, and Elizabeth was there dropping off Rachel, and Elizabeth was talking to my mom, and my mom introduced me to Elizabeth, and Elizabeth was like, hey, do you want to join Escape? We need guys. And I was like, that's not really my thing. And then she's like, but you get to be a pirate and an Indian in Peter Pan. And I was like, oh, well, that's a real selling point.
Yeah, really, thanks.
And so funny. I was just like, you know what, let's do it.
Yeah.
I felt like at that moment, the only thing that was holding my life together was baseball. And I
remember that.
Yeah. So I was just like, you know what, I got to try something new. I don't want baseball to be my entire life. So the first day I was supposed to go in for rehearsal, I was just like, not having it.
No,
not having it at all.
That. Yep.
And because like usually, I used to be really bad with meeting people, like really awful.
Yeah.
So then my mom was like, dude, you got to do it. Like, I'm forcing you to do this. And I was like, okay, fine. And then I came out of there. Sure enough, mom's always being right. And I loved it.
Yeah.
And I just love the environment. I love the family that I saw. Like, I wasn't a part of it like the first rehearsal, but come production week, I really started talking to Mikey and Scott.
Yeah.
And that's when I really started talking to you as well.
Yeah.
I think the first time we really met was like, dude, I really like your shirt. You're wearing a Childish Gambino shirt. And I was like, that's so sick.
I remember that. So
you, Mikey, Scott, and I really started talking and becoming friends.
Yeah.
And then that winter break, because it was the winter show. So that winter break, we all hung out as friends, and we went to where did we go? Scary House. We went to Scary House down San Francisco.
We went to this little cool abandoned house off of San Francisco Road in Santa Clarita, and we should just go hang out down there. It was like a cool place to explore. And we went on that one day that was really like misty and cloudy, and we took a big group. Remember that?
Yeah, it was so cool. And then that's when I really felt like, awesome, I got a new family.
Yeah.
And then so that eventually went on to me quitting baseball and really finding myself.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I was just kind of captivated in what people thought of me in high school, because baseball players were like the talk of the town, and
they identified in that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that kind of led to me not, like, I was just holding myself back from actually being myself. And then
for sure,
I was too ashamed to even say that I was in theater. But once I quit, I was just like, I want everybody to know. And then everybody really liked it, actually. And it was nice to finally be myself. And I think it's a major thanks to you, Mikey and Scott, for
sure,
me actually becoming myself, and Escape Theater in general, and just developing a whole new family.
Yeah. And you know what was interesting is I know what you mean, because for me, I've always been really empathetic, and I always had that deep down.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know how to draw that out. No one does when they're younger, but like, even now I'm still learning to draw that out of me. And I think theater was the voice by which I could do that.
Definitely.
Like, no pun intended, but literally musical theater brought that out of me eventually, because I was sports everything for my whole life. Mm-hmm. And you don't really know much else as a guy until you try something like that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of connotations that go with that, like there's only like gay guys from all the jocks.
Yeah, that's exactly what I got.
And it's not at all like, and to be honest, like, some of my really great friends are gay guys that we just had a great time. But it was also all the relationships with true people that you were so vulnerable with on stage. Like, I know you feel that.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
So true.
I think it's funny that you say that, because I remember my last show was Lord Farquaad.
Yeah.
Just the last note of What's Up Duloc, I totally just, it was awful.
Yeah.
Like, it was so bad. I hit it horribly.
We've all had that.
And then I just walked
sure.
off this stage like smiling. Usually I'd be just so disappointed in myself, but it was
Right.
at that moment when I realized, I was like, this theater program changed my life. Like,
Yeah.
and that's, I don't care. That's how I ended it.
Yeah.
I had the time of my life these past 4
yeah.
years. And it wasn't even 4 years, actually. I did 4 shows, but
Yeah.
it was the best thing ever.
Yeah, I was only there for 3 years. So you probably would have been there, what, 2, right? If
Yeah,
you
it was
did
2
4
years.
shows. Yeah, I was there only 3, so I did 6, and then I did the Sudden Vision Cabaret, which was 7 for me if you count that. And then I went on to keep doing it because I was like, just even on crew, being a part of shows, was like, that to me is like, you get a new community and you get people who, for the most part, are really genuine. It's just a different vibe. You know, you don't really get that anywhere else.
Yeah, no, when Elizabeth told me, the director of Escape, she told me that it's going to be like a new family. And I was like, everybody says that, you know, but in all honesty, it was new, and it was amazing. And I couldn't think that family enough. I couldn't think that program enough.
Yeah.
For
still can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. No, and even, this is a shameless plug, but even doing our Greetings from Los Angeles show, if you haven't gotten tickets, you got to get tickets. 661-299-5264. $10 tickets. Come see it July 28th and 29th at Escape Studio. Please come see it. That
2
was
p.m.
really,
and 7:30 p.m.
Yeah, 2:30 and 7:30 p.m. That was very shameless plug, but that really, to me, was the reason I wanted to do something like that. It was such a inspiration. You know, Zach Kemper and Caleb Burson were a big inspiration to me, being a part of that Sudden Vision cast, and that was an extension out of Escape. Like, that was a part of Escape still to me. Being with all of my friends and doing a show of our own was so cool.
Yeah.
Like, to be under Zach and Kayla and just to keep going and going and going. So now, you know, doing this show with kids that are younger than me by a couple of years, and just seeing where some of them are going to New York for school. It's crazy. And it's nuts, you know? And you know, what's funny is this is a really funny, this would be a funny segue, but in a lot of ways it has like a magic to it. And I know, like, you're big with Disney too. And, a lot of it reminds me of that similar thing. I mean, a lot of the shows we're doing are like Wizard of Oz, Oliver, and, Music Man, and different shows that are old, that have like a very good message to them. What is it about, that Disney feel, you know, and the vibe that they give off and the content that they have? What is that, like for you, as far as, you know, how does that inspire you as an animator, creator, all that stuff? I
think it's funny you say that, because when we did not Beauty and the Beast, Peter Pan, the Ugga Wugg number changed my life.
The stick dance
you're talking about? So good.
We did this awesome stick dance with like 100 and something kids out there. It was amazing. Partner dance. It was awesome.
I think Kayla absolutely killed that choreography.
She really did.
When we did that, that's when I was like, Disney has done so much for not only me, but like all these kids in the audience are watching this, and they're probably blown away.
900 of them per show, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Big
like,
audience.
I was blown away, and I was in the actual thing that was
it's
happening.
like a fascination when you're out
weird.
there, you're performing, and you're like, wow, what an opportunity to do this.
Exactly. So I think from that moment on, and then doing Beauty and the Beast, listening to the dance break in Be Our Guest really changed my life as well. And
beautiful.
Hearing those noises and those sounds of Disney, like all my life, that's been my everything. I grew up loving animation, and that was like my thing growing up. I'd constantly just like, after I'd see it's funny because like every time I'd see a movie, I'd come home and draw a character from that movie, and then consistently draw new characters, because it was always on my mind. And I love everything that Disney's done for me, and I feel like they've never gone wrong. And everything that comes out, like Coco and all this stuff, it just gets better.
Kills it too.
Pixar, I consider it the same thing, Disney Pixar, but
totally.
it's just it gets me every time, and I don't cry in movies. I only cry in Disney movies, stuff that's not even real. And it's crazy how that works.
Human connection.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. How is that inspiring like your future endeavors? Like what is it that you find yourself pushing toward? I know you mentioned that you can't really say what you're working on, but like I know that you've got some stuff down the pipeline. If you want to kind of share what you're
when for my 16th birthday, my mom took me to Disneyland, and she paid for a tour for us called the Walk and Footstep Tour. And so the last part of it was we got to go tour this thing called the Dream Suites, which was where the Imagineers would stay while the park was being built. And every single room was themed off of a different land there.
Right.
And so the last room that we went in was Fantasyland, and with the flick of a switch, she just turned it on, and the whole room started playing When You Wish Upon a Star. Everything in the displays were turning, and like lights were shimmering, and I was just like, this is beautiful. And I was just, this is like, that's what I'm fascinated by. And so that song really, really spoke to me, because it says any dream your heart desire will come true. And so with that being said, I remember seeing a clip of the 1954 TV show Disneyland, which was a promotion for Disneyland, the theme park, and for Disney in and of itself. And each week they'd talk about a different land, and the way they did it was just incredible. And Walt Disney was the host, and I love the whole 50s nostalgia, but that being Disney as well really influenced me to do something bigger. And because I asked my grandpa, who was able to experience that, and he said that it just made him feel a certain kind of way, and that Disney impacted every kid that was around him. And I thought that was crazy.
The advent of Disney was probably when he was growing up.
Exactly. The 50s. And then that really makes me think like, well, our kids don't have anything to watch like that. I was talking to my uncle, and he was like, all they get to learn is watching kids whine on TV. And it's true. Like they just see little kids complain and whine and all this different stuff on TV. And it's like, well, why are we raising our kids this way? And I feel like they lack a lot, and they lack really valuable morals in life. So I'm working on something that will revive that back in our kids' lives, and revive imagination. That's another thing we lack a lot. So I really want to bring that back, and bring back being true to yourself. And like it takes a lot for a guy to be like, you know what, I love Disney, and I love Disney with all my heart, and I don't care if I listen to the Ratatouille main theme loud in the In-N-Out parking lot when everyone else is bumping and vaping and stuff like that. But like that's my thing. And my friend Ryan really, really has pushed me to be confident within myself, and pushed me to be confident with my work. And like, truthfully, as cliche as it sounds, like he's always reminded me that there's like no failure. It's like your mind is your mind, and like whatever you put down on paper is your thoughts. So him and I have been just really working hard on I can't really say anything, but like we've just been working hard to put that back into our kids.
No, I'm really excited about that. And that's special. Like we were just talking about how you really, when you have a chance, as being younger, or even just, you should never limit yourself to one avenue. Like for me, I've seen the benefits of that just even this summer, where I was feeling like I was really pushing myself into just film, and I wasn't thinking about a whole lot of other things. We were just talking about this. But then, like, what's stopping me from doing a podcast, or what's stopping me from directing a show? Really, there's nothing. And if you have the ability to, and you've been given resources to do so, just go try it. I feel like a lot of people get kind of cornered into just kind of following one thing. Like they think they have to follow one thing. And I feel like that's the LA mentality a lot, maybe big city mentality. And I've always hated that, but this kind of segues into like, we've really connected over hip hop too, like with artists like Childish, Gambino, who was like our fave, like we mentioned before, for a long time. Tyler, the Creator, is such a creative. I love his new album. And also like Frank Ocean, and I have many others that I love, but those ones are the ones we vibe off of. And what about like even just Childish? What is it about him? Besides what I mean by this too is not all of the new stuff that everybody suddenly is like, who's this guy? This guy has been around forever. Not to mention he's in Star Wars. Not to mention he wrote his own show, Atlanta. All of these things. What is it about him?
Truthfully, just like, if I can sum up my thoughts on Childish Gambino, it's the song 3005. That's like that was the first song I ever heard by him. And I was telling my girlfriend the other day, I was like, this is my favorite song ever. And it forever will be. I think every bar in that song and every lyric is just it's beautiful to me. And like, the beat is amazing, and his old stuff like Bonfire is crazy. And
From Camp, that was a crazy, that was an angry album.
Like,
I've never heard somebody so mad. I mean, Tyler, the Creator, but I've never heard something like that.
No, that album goes so hard, and like,
it's crazy.
And him creating his own TV show was also extremely inspiring. I was like, dang, this guy's got everything. And then he played Lando. And then I was
King. He's got Lion King coming up.
Eric Andre's in that too. I'm pretty excited
that's
about
gonna be fun.
He's just incredible, and it's so inspiring to watch somebody like that who just continually provokes, like I don't know, just puts art out there.
He grinds. And he really doesn't. He's not affected at all by the system. He runs it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a perfect example of what we were just talking about, of somebody who doesn't give a crap at all about what other people are doing. He goes in hiding with his music for a long time.
Just like when This Is America came out, you know, like
that was his first little.
That spoke so hard.
I mean, he did have Awaken My Love and all that stuff, which was such a cool album.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But from a hip hop standpoint, just he's crazy. And I mean, we're already kind of starting to get to the end of this. What do you think, guys? Should I extend this show to, like, should I say 1 in 20 show, which is basically one guest, 20 minutes? Should I extend that into like the 20s range? Like, should I just try it?
Let's just try it right now.
Let's try it. Let's say I'll go a little bit longer today, 25 maybe. Still in the 20s.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm thinking too, just for me, we made, I don't know if you guys have seen the video I made a while ago with Steven called Zealots. I mean, it would have been 3 years ago, probably. 2 years ago.
Yeah, like 3 years ago.
2 or 3 years ago. We just went out, like, this is back when I was shooting everything with like my DSLR camera. I think it was my parents' DSLR, and we just went out right after a huge rain that we never get in California, and we just walked around, and I just was like, dang, I'm vibing with this track. It was Zealots of Stockholm, Free Information, which is like such a cool like,
so interesting.
Yeah, it was so interesting. The title's interesting. The song is crazy. It's amazing. And the sound design and the production and all of that stuff like swept me away. And I remember that day you and I just went out there. And we were just shooting stuff. We were just hanging out. I was really just following you shooting all this stuff. And I just remember being like, wow, dude, this is nuts. Like, this song fits this vibe. And that's, for me, as a filmmaker, that's always been my thing. Like, I always try to find music that's why I love music videos. And that's why I love all that stuff. What was it about, like, Because the Internet, that album, that really got to you? Because I don't know if that's your favorite of his. That's my favorite. I love that album by him.
Yeah, actually.
Or Kauai. I love that one too.
Kauai's great. Yeah. I was a little turned off from Because the Internet at first, because it's just so weird in a sense, and I never understood it. My parents got me the record for Christmas, and the record came with a screenplay.
Oh yeah,
and
his cool. What's that one? What's the screenplay called? I can't remember.
I think it's just Because the Internet.
Is it just that? Yeah,
it might be. I'm not too sure, but I read it at the same time I was listening to the record, and then I was just like, "This is sweet," and I understand it now.
Yeah.
My favorite song off that album is "Worst Guys."
Yeah.
And it's so vibey, and it always makes me feel some kind of way, and it really brings me back to high school, because that album resembles high school for me.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. That whole time period, that's all, when we would hang out, that's what we were listening to.
That's what we listened to, yeah.
Yeah, that was like, that's the thing that you look back and be like, kids, You know, listen to this one day. Seriously. I mean, there's something about his artistry. It's not even his rapping to me. It's his artistry that just has such a thing. And he's doing his own thing. Like we were talking, these are like creative rappers.
Yeah, absolutely.
These aren't, I'm not to say that all the other ones aren't creative, but right now a lot of the hip hop that is happening is so all the same. Like all the Migos stuff blew up, and now everybody's doing that, and everybody's coming out. You know, Lil Peep and all these people, and I'm just like,
6ix9ine is pretty good.
Yeah,
6ix9ine.
He's good, but to be honest, though, there's no real originality in all that.
Yeah,
there is,
all.
But not as much, and I feel like he just does not even care. I don't think Tyler really cares either. Like those guys just kill it. Frank Ocean's like my favorite R&B ever.
Yeah.
Like, love him.
I couldn't agree more.
Just that album, you know, his newer album that he came out with, Chanel's like the best song I've ever listened to top to bottom from like a pop hip hop R&B standpoint.
Yeah, it's great.
Let's kind of segue a little bit toward the end because I don't want to keep people too long, but my 3 bumper questions. Let's do, what's your favorite snack food first?
Okay. I'll think about it. You just go to the next 2.
And then the next one is, what celebrity would you most want to spend the day with? And then the last one is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? That one normally takes a little bit of time. So
yeah. Well, celebrity I'd want to spend the day with is hands down Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah.
That guy is the best. Literally never fails to put out amazing stuff. I don't know. Like, he's incredible, dude.
Yeah. I love him. Broadway. He's a Broadway great.
Yeah. He's in everything great at this point.
Amazing.
Yeah. My favorite snack food. That's tough. I don't really snack on a lot. I like watermelon as a snack.
Ooh.
Yeah, watermelon is a great snack.
You know what I've gotten twice? Hummus. I got hummus and chips twice from 2 different people. I've only done 5 episodes, and I got it twice. Healthy.
I'm Arabic, so I have hummus all the time, so it gets kind of annoying after a while. I also love beef jerky. Beef jerky's amazing.
Dude, that's the plug. Honestly, though, I get so sucked in because it's expensive, and I'll eat a whole pack in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's bad.
And I'm like, dang, I should just go get some meat.
Some real just go buy a steak.
Because celebrity, you did celebrity. Now, 5 years. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself directing with my friend Ryan, our first animated feature film for Disney.
This is Ryan Lopez.
Ryan Lopez.
Yeah, shout out Ryan. I just followed you on Instagram, boy.
Hey.
Thanks for the quick follow back within like 30 seconds.
He's always on his phone.
Let's collab. Okay. Let's collab sometime, boy. Go ahead.
That's where I see myself in 5 years. And I definitely see myself having a family. I want to raise my family in Disney. So I really want to be in Disney before I raise my family.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where I want them to grow up, is with that mindset and with the cliche magic in their heart. But like, I want that, and I want them to like listen to that stuff. And
well, there's no doubt. I mean, like, my dad worked at Disney for 15 years as a sound mixer, and shout out Dad, just got nominated for an Emmy today. I'm very proud of you for Westworld. But to be honest, that to me was such a huge part of my life.
Yeah.
The more I look back on it, just
Disney.
having that just not ingrained in me, but it was very subtle. The way that was just a part of my life.
Yeah.
Going to Disney was, every couple weeks because we had a pass, and it was just, we'd go. And as a kid, that was the dream.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. Well, Steven, thanks for being on the show.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate you being on it and all these friends. You guys, if you have any guests that you're thinking of that would be good for the show, just let me know. Follow us on Instagram. It's at 1in20 show, and also on Facebook. Go and like our page and share the links, boy. And thank you for listening, guys, and we'll have a new episode up shortly.